Good morning, internets. As always, it's me, Ryan, here bright and early in Tokyo, Japan. As always, I duly hope everyone's feeling excellent. So, in this edition of the channel, something caught my eye this morning that really needs to be mentioned, because it's not in a way it should be. Now, as we all know, Texas is having some massive fires. Totally out of control. Totally out of control. Now, there's two parts of this that really should be unacceptable. Number one, our good friends FEMA. Yeah, that's right. They've stepped in. Now, here's the part of it that's kind of messed up and should enrage a lot of people. By the way, it's morning. It's time for smoke number one. So, yeah. Now, at first, the most excellent volunteer fire departments of Texas were handling this. And they were having trouble because Mr. Rick Perry, who I'll get to in a second, cut the funding for volunteer fire departments in Texas big time. So firefighters are struggling to do with this. So what they did was make a general call to retired firefighters for them to come out and help out. Now the thing was, they didn't have the money to put them in uniform, so they had to buy their own equipment. So they buy their own equipment, get their own gear together. You know, the retired firefighters have probably got something up in the attic. You know, they can dust off anything. So all these guys show up, and then Texas Governor Rick Perry sends down the order to tell them, back off. Don't help. We're not going to try to put out this fire. We're just going to evacuate and wait for FEMA to show up. And FEMA will organize it. Okay, so Rick Perry's basically saying that the Texas government can't handle an emergency. Can't handle a damn forest fire. A damn big old forest fire. You can't handle it. Come on now. In West Virginia, where I was from, a forest fire was no big deal. We never called FEMA for that. We just handled that through the volunteer fire departments and local boys in the neighborhood. Grab your gear, whatever you got, go up there and help. Let's say again, like in the last video, it's the American way. We help each other out. It's the way it should be. We shouldn't be crying at the government all the time. So anyways, FEMA showed up now, and all the firefighters have returned. They're like, hey, we're here, man. Let's get organized. Let's put out this fire. No. You're a good old federal government. Can't have it that way. So they sent the firefighters home again. So this is twice. Volunteer firefighters, highly skilled, ready to go, want to help their state, have been told to go away twice. First time, the state of Texas says, come and help, please, we need your help. They show up, they're trying to handle it. And Rick Perry shows up from coming off the campaign trail. He wants to play hero a little bit in the state of Texas, and he wants to get a few photo ops. He rolls up in there and says, nah, go home. We're going to wait for FEMA to show up, and they'll organize it. Okay. FEMA shows up, firefighters return. FEMA says, no, we're the federal government. We're in control now. We're going to do it. All you citizens go home and pray, or whatever, if you believe in God or not. Pray or cross your fingers that we're going to take care of it. Yeah, Mr. Government. That's part one of this. This is totally a power grab. Federal government can't let the states do anything on their own anymore. You know, states' rights are completely being stepped on. It's kind of, you know, and let's get into Rick Perry a little bit. I'm sorry to speak so strongly, but, he's a piece of trash. Obviously. Total piece of trash. He's been to Bilderberg. He's been to, he's broke international law several times. You gotta know, I don't have time to get into it, but he has. And he cuts the fire departments down to nothing. State of Texas doesn't have proper emergency services now. When something breaks out, this is what happens. He runs the FEMA. He runs the federal government. Instead of the state and locals handling their business, no, we can't have it that way. Can't have people taking care of themselves. Federal government's got to step in and say, we're the heroes. We're the boss. You sit down and shut up and take it. We're here. We're in control of you. Do what we say. That's another example of FEMA. It shows you the mindset of Rick Perry. He won't let you take care of yourself. Put state of Texas in a situation where Texas can't take care of itself. It's got to depend on the feds for everything. It wouldn't surprise me if they corner those fires and then declare it federal property. Now, I spoke about this in a couple of videos before. I've seen it happen. Where FEMA comes in and tries to take over stuff. Tries to supersede local governments, supersede state governments, and just take over. They might as well declare martial law. Like they de facto did in New Orleans. More examples of this. I'm a bit outraged this morning by this, as you can tell. I mean, come on. You tell the fire department to stand down? You got an out of control fire? Have you lost your mind, Rick Perry? Have you lost your mind, FEMA? Well, FEMA lost their mind a long time ago. But Rick Perry, man, this is not okay, dude. I'm sorry. Buddy, this ain't how you run a state. And if you can't run a state, how are you going to run an entire nation? This is your idea of handling things. Yeah, you're out of control, sir. You've been out of control for a while. If anyone knows the history of Rick Perry in the state of Texas, yeah, man, now you're on the national scene, Rick Perry. People are watching you closer. You try and get elected president, man, you better do some real good PR. Might want to call Karl Rove again. The guy that got your foot in the door in politics in Texas? Yeah, I might want to call him again because, man, damn, I need another smoke. Jesus. You're just going to let the feds roll up in there with FEMA and just go on a madcap power grab without the state having a say-so in it. You just show up, shaking hands, kissing babies, taking photos, acting like you're here to help, and you don't care about the campaign trail right now. Well, you don't care about politics at the moment. You sure are playing them. You're going to be at the debate, okay? You skipped that one political conference with the GOP debate, but you're going to go to the big one. It's going to be on TV, ain't you? Yeah, you ain't going to miss that one. No matter how damn blazing the fires get out of control. Yeah, you'll go to that debate. Which actually is kind of a good thing. I want to actually see you debate, Rick Perry. Because you got a history of not debating your opponents. Well, I think from memory, you've been in what? 3? 4? Maybe? in your entire political career, you have a history of avoiding debating people. So actually, you called in FEMA. Well, there's one bright side to it. We get to see your debate skills. Now, words got out about you a little bit, and to say you're short-tempered in debates, and you're not generally not a very nice guy to debate with, or even discuss anything with. Which sounds like a neocon attitude. The neocons are still relatively new in American politics, but you guys are very well defined. You're easy to pick out. Just judge your attitude and your policies, and the way you behave and the way you think and how you treat people. It becomes very clear your agenda. And I'm seeing more and more, man, either you're going two ways, or you're a globalist who wants to destroy sovereignty. The going to Bilderberg gives evidence of that. Or you're a damn neocon. If you're a neocon, that's like the slime of American politics right there. The only thing I can say is lower than that is these fake progressives who are really kind of, these fake, not a real progressive. There's a lot of these people, fake progressives. They're really just fascist, but they act like progressives. I ain't going to say who's a prime example, but y'all know. So yeah, we're seeing how Rick Perry does things. It's coming out. In times of emergency or disaster, you see what your leaders are really made of. And we're seeing what Rick Perry's really made of. He's really not concerned about this. If he hands it over to FEMA and doesn't take the reins of the Texas government and run that state, when they need him to run that state and pull together their resources and put out these damn fires, he can't handle that. Well, I'm saying, how's he going to run a nation? If he can't run a state, how are you going to run a nation, Mr. Perry? I'm sorry, but you piece of shit, man. Yeah, I'm a bit enraged this morning just to see this. You see the video and pictures coming in from Texas and the people struggling. It's amazing. A large section of that state's on fire. Burning the ground. You got Rick Perry playing politics and saying he's not. That's Rick Perry. That's all I can keep saying. That's a prime example of Rick Perry. This is the same guy that tried to push for that corridor down in Texas that would send that super highway up from Mexico, bypass the United States up to Canada, and would knock out our Teamsters and our shipping, where the Mexicans could go straight through without having to go through border patrol and not have to do that 5 mile rule. Yeah, the 5 mile rule has already been basically destroyed. The way it was they could only, the Mexican Teamsters and the Mexican shipping could only go 5 miles into America, and they had to get out and transfer to an American driver. That's been almost completely destroyed already. And Perry was going to take that further, and build that damn corridor down there. There would have been a start of a super highway, basically. And Perry was all for that. I could give you example after example of Rick Perry. I'll probably do another video focusing just on Rick Perry, because this man has angered me to the point. I just care about my fellow Americans getting the service they need and getting the proper leadership. That's all I want. And this clown, this globalist neocon piece of trash, nah, he's not a leader, guys. So, yeah, I'm going to finish this video up. Yep, we got Rick Perry telling firefighters to stand down, calling in FEMA, and FEMA's telling everybody to go home. We're going to handle it. Yeah, we'll see how good they handle it. Keep a close eye on this one. Till next time, guys, this is Ryan checking out from Tokyo.